Welcome back. So we are in our descent. We've descended from 36,000 feet to just over 21,000 feet, and we are on our way down to 15,000 feet. And we've just been told to expect the BenQ arrival. So that means we will be going for runway 26
with you
and the RNAV 26 Zulu approach. But I haven't actually been allocated that arrival yet, so when I'm cleared onto it, it'll be finalised. That's already in the G1000 in the anticipation that that's the one I would get, and that's what the weather conditions seem to be dictating, so that's what we'll expect. We are still in northern Italy, but not for that much longer, so midway between Gungo and Ekpis, and from Ekpis we'll make a slight left turn and head to Breno. Breno is just about 11 miles from Ekpis. Breno is the border, so when we cross Breno we are crossing into Austria. And then on this particular start, Breno will go straight to the VOR at Innsbruck, INN. That's not actually at the airport, it's up in the mountain near the airport. We'll make a right turn at Inn, and we'll head direct to RTT. Now RTT is the initial approach fix. It's also a holding point. Now we might get told to hold at RTT. Doesn't normally happen, but it has happened before. Okay, down to 140.
Milan Centre, Ryanair 5073, good day. With you, passing flight level 260.
Shall I add the centre a little bit? And then from RTT, we should be cleared to make our approach into runway 26, but we'll need to be at 9,500 at that point. Now, the last time I tried this particular routing, ATC was quite late descending me, and by the time I'd reached 9,500 I was already quite a distance down the approach, and you don't really want to do that because then you've got to lose a lot of altitude fairly quickly. So and this is the shorter approach, so I'm hopeful that we'll get descended much nearer to 9,500 by the time we get to RTT, but let's keep an eye on it. Worst case scenario, I might manually request the altitude and see if I can get it. I'm also slowing down a little bit because I went throttles idle for that descent. I'm going to keep up to about 220 knots for this phase of the approach. Actually, I can probably go to 250. There's no reason why I shouldn't. Over on the MFD there, you can see our positioning. So we're just turning Ekpis now. If I increase the map range, you can see our rough approach pattern. Now remember, there is no ILS on this approach, so it is going to be an RNAV approach. Now we will be able to get some good guidance out of the computer, but the VNAV profile doesn't really seem to work. So one way to do it is to do VNAV direct from the approach fix, but the other way is just kind of eyeball it and VS it, which is what I'll probably do. I mean, to be honest with you, it's better to be lower earlier. The approach plate shows me that I need to stay at 9,500 till the first waypoint anyway, and then I need to dive so that when I reach the final waypoint, WI103, I should be at about 1,500 feet above, which is about 3,000 feet, well, a little bit over 3,000 feet, but 3,000 feet I think is the transition altitude, it's the decision height for this approach. But check out the weather. It's a bit thundery. Turn on the weather radar. I've not had the weather radar on so far since it's been pretty clear, but I'm going to turn it on now. I'm we're going to extend it out to 20 miles. Keep an eye on any cells that might be hiding in these clouds. For now they seem fluffy, but I've seen some flashes of lightning. And from previous attempts to this approach, I do know there are some thunderstorms out there. It got quite messy one time. I did actually think I might lose it.
119.27
While I was talking to you, I let the speed creep up, so I just hit close to max speed, so now I'm slowing down. Okay, there's my clearance.
Arrival expect Zulu approach runway 26. Transition RTT.
November 2 Alpha Nav Zulu approach runway 26. Transition RTT 010.
IGS speed to 70.
Speed 70. GS.
So, I did promise at the end of the last video that we would talk a little bit about Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I think it's worth mentioning a few things that have come out recently. So, for one thing, we had a video a few days ago called Let It Snow. You may have seen it, you may not. If not, go search it out. And it's a demonstration of the weather system to provide seasons. So it had been unknown for a while whether seasons would make it into the first product. X-Plane, of course, famously doesn't have seasons at all. P3D has always had seasons, but that requires you to have basically 4 sets of textures for every bit of scenery. So not all scenery has seasonal capability. Well, Microsoft were saying that if they were going to do seasons, they wanted to do it properly, and it appears that they have been able to do that. So if you watch the Let It Snow video, gosh, we're being buffeted pretty hard at the moment. I don't imagine my passengers are having a great time. Definitely time for the seatbelt signs to go on. There we go. Yep, the Let It Snow video demonstrates the system they've created for snow. So we know they have volumetric clouds and there is precipitation. Precipitation does create puddles, etc. on surfaces. But I'm not sure if the rain is truly volumetric in that sense. But what the video demonstrates with the snow is it starts with a shot of Central Park.
RT010. Descend to flight level 120. QNH 1017.
Descending to flight level 120. QNH 1017. BRT010.
So to set my descent. It shows a shot of Central Park. It then time speeds it up, and then storm clouds come over and deposit snow all over Central Park. And it's quite remarkable, really. It's I don't think it's a clever trick with textures. I think it is volumetric snow. I mean, whether or not, I don't imagine the snow on the ground is done with lots and lots of individual particles. I imagine it's probably done with shaders, but I mean, I'm not an expert games programmer, so I don't know. But they appear to have the technology for snow to come along and snow on stuff and leave the snow lying on things, overlaying the existing scenery, overlaying the buildings.
RT010. Descend to 11000. QNH 1017.
Descending to 11000. QNH 1017. BRT010.
Okay, I've made my turn towards RTT. No visibility at the moment and significant rain, so we're on instruments right now. So yeah, it's that's technology we've been waiting for, the ability to layer seasonal effects on top of the existing scenery, and that appears to be the way they're going. So they've shown it for snow, but there are clearly other effects you could do that way, you know, leaves on the ground, and you could mutate the textures to create, you know, brown fields for winter and so on and so forth. So that's very promising, I think. Not much else out of the team at the moment. I know that Tech Alpha 1 is underway right now. And thus far at least there don't appear to have been any significant leaks out of Tech Alpha 1. Which means that Microsoft is keeping a good lid on things. And the testers are honouring their NDAs, which is good. Obviously people are hungry to hear more information, but it's better to wait until Microsoft has something positive to say, rather than, you know, hearing about stuff that may actually never make it into the final product, or things that are missing that are intended to be done later. So, and I know they're recruiting now for Tech Alpha 2. So if you wanted to be on Tech Alpha 1 and you weren't, you can at least try for that. And I believe there'll also be a second wave of Tech Alpha 1 testers added, so they're clearly adding more and more testers over time, trying to make it a bigger test. So I should guess everybody who wants to test the software will get to do so in good time. But yeah, I still feel very positive about Flight Simulator 2020. I think Microsoft has a really good opportunity here. Hopefully they don't disappoint any of the major audiences, but I guess, you know, cockpit builders like me, very small fraction of the community, and indeed people like me who are not doing specifically a 737 or an Airbus, are a very small fraction of a very small community. So I can't really expect Microsoft to spend a lot of time on my specific cockpit requirements, but they do know people want to use the sim for that, so, and they said they want to accommodate it. If you saw the most recent Discovery video about cockpits, they said that they would be supporting multiple displays, they would be supporting popping out panels.
Approach runway 26. Transition RTT.
Okay, we're cleared for our approach.
Zulu approach, runway 26. Transition RTT 010.
Right, so on the flight plan, once we hit RTT, the aircraft's going to turn towards Lowy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to activate the approach. And RTT will be our initial approach fix. Now I still need to get cleared down to 9,500. Oh, they've got some visibility now. Not good weather. And we're being bounced around a lot, so I'm glad I'm on the autopilot. But yeah, positive, definitely positive. Right, we've got a cell dead ahead. That cloud there is a cell. I think I'll get to RTT before it. I'm hoping. Yeah, it looks like I will. Still a few miles away. Okay, the aircraft's making a turn. I'm going to see if I can get cleared straight down to 9,500. No, apparently I can't. Okay, not the end of the world. Check out the mountains. Oh, well, there you go.
Descended to 9,500, BRT010.
Wow. Yeah, we're really getting hit by those winds. This does not feel massively safe, I have to be brutally honest. But the mountain tops are still some way above me. Below me, sorry. I'm going to slow things down a bit.
Yeah, 330 hello, identified, cleared Negro 1 Alpha, 270.
Give myself more time to turn. So I might actually use the speed brakes Build up a little bit of speed.
Turn right heading to 80.
Right turn heading to 80, BRT010.
Pretty much what I'm doing anyway. So we're going to join the approach at the first waypoint. And I'll be at 9,500 by then, so that's good. Speed brakes are out. Go to flaps 1. Pull the speed brakes back in. Give it a little bit of power.
Delta India Papa Romeo Charlie, contact arrival 119 and 2 right.
Let's keep an eye on my speed. So 165 knots. I want to be a little bit faster than that. Speed management is really difficult in this aircraft, in this kind of weather, on this approach. I have to be honest with you. I really would like an auto throttle. I'd really rather be about 175 knots right now, which is what I should be, according to the plan. Alright, so we're coming up on WI002, we're at 9,500 feet, so we are good for our approach. Now we're going to head down into the valley. I'm going to arm the VNav. We'll see if the V path kicks in at WI002, which it should do. Here we go.
Initially reaching level 230. Yeah, 330, descend to flight level 150, 240 knots.
No? Okay, I'm going to manually VS it. Let's take the altitude down to 1900 and we'll VS down. Start at 1800 feet a minute, which is a little bit higher than we need. And see if we can get out of this cloud. There's the valley within which you find the airport. Slow down again. That's what I meant. If you overspeed, there's no way to get your speed down. So glad we've got the speed brakes on this thing.
12075, honey, is Swiss 1349 in.
Okay, I'm going to put the landing lights on now, since it's getting a bit dark. Passenger seat belts are on. We've got some micro cells around us, but nothing looking dangerous directly in our path. Everything else is prepared. Speed brake in. I might keep the spoilers out a little way.
BRT010, descend to 1,900 feet, final approach, contact tower at the marker. Frequency is 120.1.
Descending to 1,900, cleared approach, tower at the marker, 120.1, BRT010.
Okay, we're just passing 6,000 feet. We're going to come in at 3,000. So I want to be at 3,000 feet by WI103, which is the last waypoint before the airport, and that's the point at which I'll take over manually.
Triple 3, descend for level 160. Descend level 160, please, triple 3.
Alright. Getting below the cloud base now. So I can see the runway ahead of us there. Going to slow up the descent a little bit. speed brakes in. Should be okay at the speed now. Right, gear is coming down. Flaps going to 2.
Hello, Lufthansa 3744, level 220 on cross to Harvard.
We got 3 greens down and locked.
Tower BRT010 on final, runway 26.
British 010, slow to
Flaps
final
3.
approach speed, QNH 101.
140 knots, which is where we want to be.
Final approach speed, QNH 1017. Clear to land runway 26, BRT010.
Passing 3,500. Look at this valley. Imagine that's the kind of the side step where you'd have to turn around in order to come back onto 2.6. Yeah, that will be quite a thing. Alright, I'm about to hit 3,000 feet, so I'm gonna just hold altitude at this point.
132, wind 280 degrees, 3 knots, clear takeoff runway 16.
The runway lights. We'll make our last turn very shortly. Alright, let's nose it down.
Aeropa 1603, wind 90 degrees, 5 knots, clear to land runway 116.
Autopilot going off.
Hold short runway, wait. Prepare 235, cross runway 28, cancellation 121.75, goodbye.
Flaps to full.
Goodbye.
So we're going to continue. Things are a little bit murky, but I can see the runway, see the lights, and I can see the PAPI lights. So we're making our last turn here, doing that manually. I have let the autopilot do that before, but you've got to manage the altitude really well. Okay, we're a little bit low. I'm just going to level out a bit.
Now, rating 487 and 7 transport, 16
blocks, 487, continue approach to 14.
Love this lights animation. And of course, these lights go straight through the city in the real world, so these lights are actually on top of buildings. Alright. Here we go. Controls are idle. Still got some low cloud. 500. Not much of a crosswind, which is good, so actually a pretty straightforward, yeah, it's pretty much a direct headwind. So all it's doing is slowing me down, which at this point is not a bad thing. Okay, Puppy's telling me I'm too low. I am, but I am going to make it. A little bit off the centre line, but never mind. Oof, that was a bounce. But my passengers won't like me for that.
010, gate is left, contact ground control on 125.4.
125.4, BRT010.
Now, rating 487 and 7
Those
transport,
flaps can come in.
16 blocks, 487, continue approach to 14.
Landing light off. This is a very steep left turn. Steep sharp, rather, so I'm just going to take it reasonably slowly. Having said that, that was probably still no fun for the passengers. Yeah, but you know, they wanted a thrill ride, they've got it. Alright, we are clear of the runway, so strobe lights are off. And let's ask for a gate.
Ground BRT010 is cleared off the runway. Request taxi for parking.
British 010, taxi via Lima to Terminal 1, Gate Golf 1.
Via Lima to Terminal 1, Gate Golf 1, BRT010.
And to be brutally honest, I have no idea what Gate Golf 1 is because the gate numbers that Pro ATC has completely differ from the gate numbers that GSX has. So, going to ask GSX for gate 3 because I know where that is. No, I don't need to follow me. Thank you. Now, let's just see if this will work or not.
So, 445 cross runway 28, contact apron 121.75, by you.
Yeah, you see GSX on the client doesn't even think we're at lower yet, so I'll wait until I get a little bit closer to the gate. I might be able to activate the gate agent, the marshaller, on the client machine as well. Must look at my control configuration. I think I've got a bit of a dead spot in my pedals. Maybe I've just set the dead zone to wide. And I'm finding I'm drifting a lot with my nose wheel steering. You probably noticed that a little bit.
Sorry, 16 is blocked, sir, continue straight in.
So yeah, welcome to Innsbruck. Not the world's best weather for mountaineering, but I'm sure my passengers will find something to do with their time. And this is a very nice looking airport. I'm not sure who did it for Orbex. It might be an in-house one, but it might be Turbulent Designs. But it's very good. I'm not sure if it's PBR per se. Oh, there goes the rain. Just going to stop here for a second. So most of those are static aircraft. There isn't much actual traffic here. Right. No. I'm just going to see. Gate 3. No idea if we'll actually get a marshaller. I don't think we will. But that's right, I know where gate 3 is, and I've got the marshaller on the other screen.
Class again, 313, wind 28 degrees 5 knots, clear land runway 1, correction, runway 28.
Pull up here for a second again. Make sure I really do know where gate 3 is. So if we pop out of the aircraft, let's just go to this view. And we pop out for a second. Over here. There's the marshaller. Standing between those two other static figures. So that is our gate. Unfortunately we don't appear to have a marshaller on the client machine, which is a shame, but not by any means the end of the world. So let's get parked.
right runway 2. Okay, all approach 109.
Slow it down. And we're there. No, we're not quite. Alright. I'll park short, but apparently they're okay with that. And let's do left engine stop, right engine stop. Alright, Marshall seems happy. There you go. Does his little bow. The other two, so the two in green are come with the airport, and the other guy is GSX. Okay, that's good. So let's connect the ground power unit, and then passengers can move around. ELT to test. Hydraulic pumps closed.
Terrain system test OK.
HTOS test OK.
Off.
Continue straight in for 141.
Pneumatic valves are off, and the cross bleed goes off. Probably should have had the windshield heating on during that flight, but there is no icing really to speak of in this sim, so you know, let's not worry too much about it. The climate control wasn't on, so in that sense we're fairly good. So I just need to switch off the nav lights, beacon light went off for the engines, and that's a good shutdown. There we are. So, here we are, parked at Innsbruck, and my passengers can now disembark and go off on their mountaineering holiday. There'll be no GSX disembarking. You really can't do it with a bizjet like this. But let's just take a little bit of a look at our surroundings. They're very nice. Nice detailed airport. Lots of bits and pieces. This is dense scenery, by the way, so you get the benefit of most things. Look at those mountains, though. Aren't they something to behold? And the city of Innsbruck, all in glorious detail. Yeah, Orbex, I think you've done a pretty good job with this, I have to say. And we've parked a little bit off centre, so nose wheel is where it should be, although we're too far back. But the back end is a little bit squiffy. Never mind, not the worst parking I've ever done. Okay, that's it. Here we are. Dropping my passengers off, and then I'm going to go and have a well-deserved drink in the airport bar. Now, if you're not subscribed already, consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell button so that you know when I actually post a video. And I hope to see you back on the channel very soon.